Hello and welcome to another episode of the award-winning HUTV, Huntsville Utilities Television. I'm Todd, joined as always by the Bonnie to my Clyde and the Jekyll to my Hyde, Amanda.
Hey, everybody.
You know how there's a day for everything?
Absolutely.
It's like, I don't know what today is, but it's probably something. Well, it's got to be something.
Cake day.
Cake day or something.
Ice cream day.
Well, January 21st was National Squirrel Appreciation Day. That's a thing.
Yep. They need some love sometimes.
I like squirrels. I think squirrels are very interesting creatures.
They are.
I put food out for them at my house.
Yeah.
I like squirrels.
Yeah.
But in the utility industry, sometimes it's hard to appreciate squirrels.
Yeah, sometimes they can go climb on things that they shouldn't be climbing on.
Yeah, when you have electrical equipment that has the name squirrel in it, such as the Squirrel Guard. If you watched our trivia episode, we talked about the Squirrel Guard. That should give you an idea. And it's not just squirrels. They take the bulk of the bad rap. It's small animals in general are responsible, are a leading cause of power outages.
Correct.
And sadly, it usually does not end well for the squirrel.
Right.
So we were curious, why do squirrels do what they do? Why are they, and again, squirrels and small animals. And so we talked to, we got a guest today.
We did.
Yes, we have a guest. We don't always have guests.
Yeah.
It's exciting.
Yeah. And he was able to join us virtually, which was nice.
Yes.
Landon from
the state of Alabama.
He's
a biologist with the state of Alabama, which, as states do for, game wardens and national parks, they have biologists on staff, and he decided to, very gracious, to join us virtually and talk about all things related to the squirrels. And I thought it was pretty interesting, and we think you will too. So anything we want to say before we roll it?
Just, as you're watching it, if you come up with a question, don't forget to put that in the comments, and we can always reach out.
Yeah, we can reach back out to him, and he'd be more than happy to answer it. He was very accommodating, and we really appreciate it. So here's our talk about squirrels with Landon the biologist. So what is it about squirrels that causes them, that leads them to this type of behavior that can cause problems for utility companies?
So squirrels are in the rodent family, similar to like chipmunks, mice, and even beavers. And in that family, those teeth never stop growing. So in humans, your teeth, quit growing around, early to mid 20s. Squirrels and, like I said, other rodents, their teeth never stop growing. So they always won't have to be chewing on something. So that's where the chewing comes in onto the wire, electric wires, hard plastic, even wood on the side of your house can be chewed at times. So that's where that behavior comes in.
Gotcha. Well, we have this nifty contraption that is called a Squirrel Guard. And these go, actually, I've got a photo. Do I have behind me? Yeah, I do, right here. Can you see it?
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay, the Squirrel Guard is right there. It goes on top of the transformer. And it keeps, see if I can put that back up. Nope. I got it. So this keeps the squirrel from coming in contact with two wires. So as long as they're scurrying and running across one wire, they're okay. It's when they touch two wires at the same time that then they close the loop and not good things happen, and we wind up with a power outage.
Yeah, and it rarely ends well for the squirrel. And the thing is, it's not, we have the Squirrel Guard, we have other things that we try to do to try and keep, and it's not that it's two sides of the same coin. Yes, we're trying to prevent power outages. We're also trying to protect the squirrels. I hear a lot of people, sometimes squirrels are looked upon as pests. I personally think that's an unfair generalization. I've always been a big fan of squirrels. I think they're fascinating creatures. Why should people not look at them as pests?
So one of the cool, interesting facts about squirrels is they're known to create a more diverse habitat throughout their landscape. So, squirrels are all also known for bearing nuts and different seeds and different stuff like that to survive the winter. Well, they can't remember where they bury everything. So as they bury those different acorn seeds, nuts of that, different varieties, those when they forget, those tend to grow the next season. So that's one very, interesting thing that if the squirrels do for us that we don't always realize.
That's so true. I've tried to grow stuff in my yard, and it takes a long time for stuff to grow, especially when you're growing it from a seed. So yeah, it helps to have them get that process started.
So are there things that people can do? Because when we talk about power outages, we talk about when we have an entire neighborhood or a section of the city might go dark because of a small animal. But it can also, you can. At my house, I remember we had an incident where the air conditioner stopped working, and when they came out to look at it, come to find out the problem was, in this case, they suspected it was a rabbit that had done it, had chewed on some of the wires going between the air conditioner and the house, and that had caused the problem. Fortunately, it wasn't a costly repair. But are there things that people can do or that they should not do that will protect the things around their house from squirrels and small animals causing damage?
Yes, there are several different things you can do. You can always make sure your wires are in a conduit, commonly known as PVC in layman's terms. So if you're building a new house, you could also look into burying your wires, especially your power wires ran from your pole. And also, if you're running your air conditioner maybe on a second level or something, you could run them inside. So those are a couple things you can do. And also remove any kind of limbs that can maybe near your house because, as Amanda mentioned, squirrels love to climb. So if you can avoid those squirrels getting to your house, that's another key factor that you can possibly keep them out of your attic or other spaces where they may tend to chew wires that, going to cost you a lot of money in the long run to repair, or even can cause fires in some instances. So those are a few things. And also like to mention bird feeders. I know my grandmother was a big bird watcher, big bird feeder. So there are several different, squirrel guards and different things that you can apply to your bird feeders to try to deter them. You can also set up like an auxiliary just squirrel feeding station. So if you don't want to remove your feeder at all and you really want your bird feeder in your backyard or your front yard, you could try to set up an auxiliary station away from that feeder. Maybe just leave like a whole unsalted peanuts from the store or cracked corn, whole corn, and try to keep the squirrels away from the bird feeder and also further away from your house. So those are a few things that small steps, and especially like I said, if you're building, you could implement as you're building your new house or new property.
Yeah, Todd feeds them.
I do, because I think they're real. Like I said, I think squirrels are kind of cool. I think they're really neat. Yeah, I have a bird feeder that has a little webcam on it, but it hangs from a thing on the house, and then on the front porch of my house, that's where you can buy it at Walmart. It's called small animal food or squirrel food or something. That's what it's got in it. It's whole peanuts, whole kernels of corn, and that kind of thing. And I put that out. And although I'm fairly certain there's a chipmunk and a rabbit that I see at my house a lot, and I think they're the ones that
I'm sure they join in.
I had a gardener tell me once that the way to keep, and I've never done this because it just seemed kind of mean, but he said the way to keep squirrels out of your bird feeder was to mix in like cayenne pepper with the bird feed, because the birds couldn't taste it, but the squirrels could, and the squirrels wouldn't like it. Is there any, is that a valid thing?
Yes. So you are correct. So you can also not just mix in cayenne pepper, or red pepper flakes like people use on Italian food, pizza, but also you can just like cut up some really potent peppers like ghost peppers and different things and mix with water. So I guess I know Huntsville in the Madison County area is probably the fastest growing area in the state. So the population is ever increasing, a human population. So you may run into issues with like Christmas lights or different things that the squirrels may chew on certain times of the year. That spray can also be used to deter them from chewing on those strands as well. So you normally have to reapply that after a rain. But you are correct. The birds they cannot taste the heat, so it doesn't affect them. So.
Interesting. Cool.
What are some things about squirrels that people just might not realize?
So squirrels are pretty interesting, especially to be as small as individuals as they are. They communicate with as simple as a tail flick and also a barking noise that they make. If you've ever heard one or scared one, you know the noise that I can't imitate it, but
No.
it's a pretty recognizable noise. That's like I said, tail flicks, and if you're a hunter or a fisher, if you've ever been in the woods, you can the tail flick is the first thing that you'll see. Another cool thing, they run away from their predators in a zigzag pattern. So that's why when you're driving down the road and the squirrel doesn't know which way he's going, he's actually doing that on purpose. Doesn't work so much well for a motor vehicle, but hawks and foxes and coyotes and other things like that can tend to work pretty well for. So that's another cool, interesting fact that they run away that like that to avoid capture. So
I never knew that. Yeah, I've had them do that to me, and I'm like, I'm behind the wheel going, "Will you go,
Yeah,
squirrel?
pick a side.
yeah.
Well, do they live as like a family, or are they like, how does that, are they a pack animal?
I mean, not no, they can during breeding season and stuff. The mom will raise the young and stuff, but normally after the youngs they kind of separate, but they live close together. So
Okay.
yeah, not necessarily as a family group. Some animals mate for the same for life, but squirrels aren't one of those.
Don't tell my daughter that, she everything in her world is a family. There's a mommy and there's a daddy
Right,
and there's
right.
babies.
Yeah, squirrels can actually have up to 2 litters a year, ranging in 2 to 4 babies each litter. So they can have multiple litters a year, which also can lead to more power outages, I'm sure. So
Yeah. Something that I've noticed with our office building being right here at Big Spring Park, we see a lot of squirrels, and it seems to me, at least, I've had times when I've been walking along the building, coming to or from work, and the squirrels will let me get surprisingly close before they will run up a tree or take off in another direction. Are squirrels becoming more used to being around people?
I would say in those urban areas like that, yes, sir. They are, unfortunately, which can lead to some other problems as well. But yes, the park areas like that and stuff, that especially where predators are kept at a minimum, coyotes, bobcats, and foxes, most of the time these are wide open parks that people are, walking around in and stuff. So yes, they can unfortunately get too used to us. But if you're ever in one of our management areas throughout the state, or some state parks, or even national forests, a lot of times those squirrels, they don't let you get very close. So they tend to be running the other way quite often. So yeah, it's just kind of a creature of nature of their habitat.
I will see little videos on Instagram and other social media platforms of people who have a squirrel in their home or have raised a squirrel or something like that. And to me, that seems like trying to domesticate or raise a squirrel seems to me like a remarkably bad idea. Am I correct in that?
Yes, sir. So there are actually laws against domesticating any kind of wild animal. Uh,
Good.
so definitely all of those can be found on outdooralabama.com. Look into that. There's only certain number of licensed rehabbers throughout the state. So that's my first thing, is to strongly suggest that. Second is it's not good because they're just not known to. They don't have that domesticated. Dogs have been domesticated over generations and generations, so they're kind of used to it. Whereas you take a wild animal, some instances it can be okay, but some it can end very badly. So we highly don't recommend any kind of rehabbing or having any kind of pets of wild animals. So
Right.
And speaking of it ending very badly, my dad was an outdoorsy guy, and he had a scar on the back of one of his hands for all of his life from where a squirrel bit him. He had tried to capture a squirrel, and it did not end well for him, but it just bit right down and went through a canvas glove and got into his hand. And he talked, I remember he would show us the scar and talk about how painful it was when that squirrel bit him on the hand.
Yeah, I don't think I could catch one. I don't plan on catching one. All right.
Well, they're fascinating animals. I think they are, at least. And and yes, we don't always appreciate them when the power goes out, but we should appreciate them for the other things they can do. So thank you very much for spending a little time with us this morning and talking to us about squirrels.
Oh yes, that's no problem. I appreciate y'all's time and having me on.
If there's any, if people are looking for more information, where's a place they can go?
Yeah, so our website, outdooralabama.com, is full of any kind of information from hunting to bird watching, small game, big game, different areas throughout the state that you can enjoy Alabama's, great nature. So state parks to, like I said, national forests. And our wildlife management areas are really good place, not just to hunt, which we highly recommend that as well, but also to just get out, get away from the house, do some hiking, walking around, different things like that, different fishing. Some management areas have fishing lakes and different things like that. So all that can be found on outdooralabama.com. And also we have an app, the Outdoor Alabama app. And so a lot of our hunting regulations, seasons, bag limits, all of that can be handheld in the app. Your hunting license and different things can be found in that app as well. So, and all of our contact information will be on any kind of, if you're not familiar with what district you are in or what district you might need to contact, that can be found under contact us at outdooralabama.com.
Awesome. Sweet.
Sounds good. All right. We appreciate your time.
Thank you.
Thank y'all for having me.
Thanks again to Landon. And there's the website if you want to learn more about what they do, what he does and what his colleagues do. Again, I thought it was really interesting.
Me too. Me too.
And I like squirrels. Can't help it. I think they're and like I said, we work here, we see a lot of them.
Yeah.
Hanging out with the ducks and everything in Big Spring Park. And
the tail twitchy thing, that's cool.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Because you noticed that. You see the kind of.
Yeah. So I didn't know that was, communication for him. So that was cool.
Well, I may start doing that.
Yeah.
As a way to communicate. I don't know. But that was pretty cool. So Squirrel Appreciation Day. So thank you to the squirrels. I don't know. I don't know if we appreciate them or not. So one person commented, because we did a post that said it was Squirrel Appreciation Day, and someone said, I appreciate how they taste.
Oh, no.
I've never eaten squirrel, but where I come from, which is not too far from here, I come from the lower part of the Midwest. Yeah, people eat squirrels.
They do, yeah.
I've never eaten them.
I haven't,
but
no.
People eat them. So.
All right.
There you go. So anything you want to add before we wrap this up?
Don't forget to like and subscribe and make sure that you're commenting and hit
Mashing
the bell.
that bell.
Yep.
There
so
you
that you don't miss any future episodes.
Indeed. So until next time, I am Todd with Amanda and speaking for everybody here at the award-winning HUTV saying thanks for watching, and remember, you can't spell utilities without you.